Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are back with the problem that is problem of the day. This is the problem. Name of the problem is count equal and divisible pairs in an array. Okay. So let's see the problem statement. What we have been given. We have been given an array nums of length n. Okay. And we are also given integer k. What we have to do is basically we have to count the number of pairs I comma j such that I should be greater than equal to 0 and it should be less than j and j should be less than n. Okay. We also have one more condition like nums of I equal to nums of j. So both values are equal. Okay. So here what we have is basically I into j modulo by k equal to 0. Okay. So the product of their indices is divisible by k. So the meaning of this statement is basically the product of their indices is divisible by k. Okay. Now let's see with an example what we have. Basically example is here we have been given an input nums array and here we have been given as 3 1 2 2 2 1 3. Okay, and value of the k is 2. Now let's go through the valid pairs. Okay, so valid pairs are, we can see 0 6 nums of 0 equal to nums of 6, that is equal to 3. Okay, and 0 into 6 equals to 0, that is divisible by 2. What we are doing is basically we are checking the condition according to the question. And second pair is basically 2 3, that is nums of 2 equal to nums of 3 equal to 2, and 2 into 3 is equals to 6, that is also divisible by 2. Okay, now third pair that is valid, what we have is basically 2 4. Here also nums of 2 equal to nums of 4, which is equal to 2, and the condition which we need to check is 2 into 4 equal to 8, which is also divisible by 2. Okay, now last valid pair we can see 3 4. Here also nums of 3 equal to nums of 4 equal to 2. That means the first condition which we have, that is nums of I equal to nums of j, basically, so both the values are equal. And after that we have to check the second condition, that is I into j modulo k should be equal to 0. That means 3 into 4 is equals to 12, which should be divisible by 2. Getting it? Like the condition is being followed as 12 is also divisible by 2. So the final answer is 4. Basically we have to return the number of valid pairs, right? So what should be the brute force approach, right? How we have to think? Let's see. Like simplest brute force approach, we will simply like loop through every pair I comma j, which you all can see here I have written down, and we have to check that if what brute force is in this question is quite very simple. Like what the question is saying, straight away we have to follow that. Basically we have to check if nums of I equal to nums of j. After checking this, we have to check another condition, like if I into j percent, that is modulo k equal to 0, if this condition is also satisfied. So basically both the conditions are getting satisfied, what we can do is consider is that is valid pair. So that is valid pair, right? And we have to increase the count of the valid pairs. After that we have, if we can, this is very simple approach. Okay, so time complexity for this is basically O of n square. Why O of n square? So basically we will be using two nested loops for this. So worst case will be 100 into 100, then 10,000 operations. So that means time complexity is O of n square because we are using two nested loops. Okay, after that we are not using any extra space, so no extra space is being used, so space is quite constant here. No worries for extra space, we are just implementing the solution in constant space. Now think of a optimal approach, how we can think. Like a key idea should be like, still we will be iterating over the array, like you can see here I have written, still we will be iterating, but instead of just random pairs, we will group the indices by the values first. It's okay if you don't get what I said here, we will be doing. How we will be doing this? We will be doing this with the help of hash map, right? Hash map. Okay, or if we can also say like we will be doing with the help of unordered map in C++, right? No worries, for other languages also you can implement. You can just use hash maps. Okay, right? Then this I have written the syntax of it, like how we will declare. It's up to you. Then afterwards, the main thing is basically, then for each group what we will do is basically we will for all the pairs of indices having the same value, we will check the second condition, which was I into j modulo k should be equal to 0. And if it does, then what we can conclude, like first condition was basically I and in nums of I and j should be equal to each other. Then second was this. Okay, if this condition is getting satisfied, then we can say the pairs are valid. So for this was the only key thing that we have to take care. Like earlier we were just taking random pairs. Now we have to think wisely. We will be using hash map. After that, the time and space complexity for this approach will be like n is total elements and g is equals to number of groups formed by the values in nums. And time complexity will be still in the worst case we will be having still O of n square, but it will be often faster in practice due to grouping. Okay, the optimal solution is not completely different from the brute force. We can say that we have just optimized the brute force solution to make it optimal. Especially if same values are rare, then fewer index combination, then it will be go in first case, that is O of n square. But this approach is often faster in practice. Okay, now we will take the space complexity, that will be O of n, because of we are storing the indices in a map. Okay, now I wanted to also let you guys know that we have to see the edge case to talk about, like we have to cover that. If all the elements are unique, okay, the answer will be 0. Okay, and if all the elements are same but no I into j divisible by k, still the answer will be 0. So these are the edge cases which you need to take care of. Here k is equals to 1, then any I into j modulo 1 should be equal to 0, always true. Okay, now quickly let's move to the coding part, like Leetcode interface I will be opening to explain you guys well. Okay, so basically we have the function count pairs. Here I am declaring the map, that is this map will store the value, that will be the list of indices where it appears. Okay, now here is the declaration of unordered map. We are taking like int comma vector int. Then step 1 is basically grouping the indices by value. Here we are using for loop. It is quite simple. After that we are initiating a count variable, that is initiating with the value 0. And step 2 is basically for each group of same values we will be finding valid index pairs I comma j. Okay, after that we will be looping like through all pairs I should be I less than j within the same value group, right? After that we will be using the nested for loop. We will check if the product of indices is divisible by k, and if it does, then we will put the if condition and we will increment the count. Okay, and after coming out of the loop we will at last return the count, which will return the total valid pairs. Okay, I hope I was able to explain the solution in a better manner. If you guys understood the solution, please hit the like button, also subscribe to channel. Till then, thank you.